take on the 8 National Resistance Movement members of Parliament to sign a notice of mission seeking to remove Mityana MP, Francis Zaake?
It is laughable and hypocritical. First of all, I think Ugandans need to realize that we are breeding a certain monster called Anita Amongi, who is now the Deputy Speaker of Parliament. She has, by the way, very, very ineffectively administered Parliament. Parliament, for the first time in the first 6 months, has been nearly in recess for more than 3 months. She pushes it off when they're supposed to discuss matters of national importance. She's a cohort of the regime. She's the true definition of the deep state that we are fighting. If you look at the way she came to Parliament, she was unopposed, allegedly. She influenced all court processes up to the Court of Appeal, which is the last appellant court in matters of elections.
Yes.
Her opponent was well nominated, but discontinued from the process of election.
You're talking about the Chief Whip, Mr. Thomas Tayo?
No. I am now talking about what brings her in as an MP.
Okay.
You know, she was FDC before, and she's one of the most deadliest people who led to the collapse of the FDC, or the weakening of the FDC because of her vast recruitment. It is no wonder that the people who have fronted the motion of the irregular motion of removing Honorable Zaake from the commission are members of leaning opposition, but formerly of the FDC, because she has direct touch with most of the FDC community, and that is why it is a problem. So her person, no, these are facts, because the person who brought that motion is Mapenduzi.
Exactly.
So as a matter of fact, we know the person we are dealing with. It has only been time. That is also time for the country to know where we are with her and who she really is. Because if you look at what she's saying, one, she mocked the torture of Honorable Zaake.
Yes.
She mocked Zaake. Anite is about 60 years, maybe 50-something years, and she must be having children. She must be having children.
Oh, I hope you don't go too personal.
I'm not going to go personal, but let her put herself in the shoes if one of those children is tortured because of politics. You know, the things we are doing today are not ours. They're not our foundation. I mean, all of you guys have jobs now. Right. You're seated here as media personalities.
Yes.
You do not know the children that you're going to give birth to, or you have, what they will yearn for in the world. Others may be born to be presidents. Now, do you mean we should not give them a fertile ground of being presidents without death? Now, this is what we are fighting for. So,
but Anita didn't forefront this motion on the floor of Parliament. It was Mapenduzi.
Because it was forefronted in the name of the Speaker, in the name of
because it's been accused
insulting the name of insulting the Deputy Speaker,
which they called misconduct,
which is not misconduct.
To the Deputy Speaker and the Parliament.
A person, every communication made on the floor of Parliament, a member of Parliament is immune to that. Okay? And that immunity the veil of immunity in Parliament is only lifted when you commit an offense in Parliament and you are referred to the procedures and the processes of Parliament. That is why Honorable Zaake cannot be charged in the disciplinary committee of Parliament, because the crimes he allegedly committed are on the people of Uganda and they are criminal in nature. Okay? Now, if what Zaake put on his social media handle was of defamation stature, was of libel, okay, then we would have argued that that matter can be taken to court, not Parliament.
Right.
Now that takes a more acute legal brain.
How about the Rules, Discipline and Privilege Committee?
No, they do not enforce outside the precincts of Parliament.
Oh, it was committed outside?
Yes. First, it was on social media. And secondly, social media is gagged in Uganda. the people who are supposed to take up this matter first are the members of UCC, not the Parliament. Parliament is usurping powers of UCC.
But
because all these handles,
like
no.
Right now.
Yes, because, and this is why we must help our Parliament, because we have a novice at the helm of Parliament today. Very unfortunately, you have the most naive character.
UCC didn't take on Kakwenza. It was taken on by
an individual.
And you saw the way they handled it. They handled it like amateurs. They handled it like goons. They were thugs. Okay? And that was done in uniform, because the duty of anything that is cyber is by either the cyber harassment unit or UCC. That is the purpose, because it is a whole law of the Computer Misuse Act. Now, even when we go to what was said by Honorable Zaake, it is not offensive. It was proper definition of the person of Anite, and I can guarantee she cannot win a case. She cannot defeat Zaake in a proper instituted process of court, because she does not stand the decorum to stand anywhere and talk about her character being maligned, because she's a mafia in character. I have told you, the reason why Genome 7 stopped the issue that had been brought by Betty Kamia of life audit. In 2016, Anita Amongi was domiciled in Ibogolo, in Chisas, in the dust areas of Chisas, okay? Near Chisas, the school of Latif.
Yes.
Okay? In 2017, she bought a house of 1.5 billion. Okay? In Chambog.
Yes.
In 2020, she has a house of $3 million in Kololo. Now, if you're going to audit anybody, how much money has she been earning from the time she became a member of Parliament
and
to date?
And those just your allegations?
I am telling you, these are facts. She was domiciled in Chambogo. She's now in Kololo. You know that? Don't you know that that is where she's staying?
Yes.
And I've told you that in a space of these years, she can, on just accommodation, spend on herself over $5 million US. Where is she getting this money? First, before you talk about corruption, this is the most corrupt individual you can ever talk about at the helm of Parliament. She was corrupt the way she became a member of Parliament. They arrested all of those who were competing against her. They beat them up. They unjustly brought them to the Electoral Commission, and then the Stujibiyabakama quickly went on to denominate them. One of the hardest processes in elections is denomination, because you have gone through, it is assumed that you have gone through all the processes, but she could not even stand competition. She's responsible for a lot of mess. It's not only Zaake. And secondly, they want to have a free heyday to steal from Ugandans, the tax base of Ugandans. Why? Because Zaake, in the commission, plays a role of oversight on behalf of the National Unity Platform on the allocation of resources of Parliament and administration of Parliament. We were not naive to choose Zaake. We wanted a soldier who would not be compromised, who was incorruptible, who had a background of not being materialistic, because his founder comes from a family that has been sustainable. It is well known. He's only in this to liberate Uganda. Therefore, now it is the semantics of the bleached Honorable Anite Amongi to assume that she is going to intimidate the National Unity Platform into choosing another choice, and also cowing Honorable Zaake into apologizing to her. That will not happen. And we want also to tell her that we are looking and seeing and following those events closely. This is going to be an issue of the people. And we can tell you, we shall take you on. The issue of blackmailing people, arresting them with your machinery, to us it will not work. Honorable Anita Amongi, forget about persecuting Zaake. You cannot be the judge. You are the lawyer. You are you are the complainant. That is foolhardy. It's total hogwash. That is not the modus of operandi. You know, the sanctity of Parliament was raped by the climbing to power of that lady, because it is no longer Parliament that we knew. There is no reason we are not talking about today why Uganda is in Congo. But because they have a mafia of Anite, she will dangle around some little monies and it is swept under the carpet.
Suppose
she forgets that she does that job. You know, those wigs that they put on, they lie to them that they are immortal. When she puts on a wig and enters Parliament, she thinks that she's immortal.
Suppose
she's not immortal.
Suppose Honorable Zaake Francis is removed from the highest decision-making organ of the Parliament.
Is there a Parliament? Anyway, I've told you there's no Parliament. So for me, I'm not bothered whether he's removed or not.
Let's go with the fact that there is Parliament. Let's go with that. What if he's removed, yet he's supposed to be representing the views of the opposition and NUP?
The person of the Deputy Speaker is too naive not to enforce what she wants to enforce. But we can only tell her that we are not scared of those acts. And Zaake does not benefit anything from being in that office. He's only playing a central role of stopping the Anita Amongs from robbing this country naked. And they want to fight him that way with all that kind of hula surrounded around him. Let us go word by word on what he posted. And secondly, you know that Facebook...
I got bits of it here.
Yes, let's read it.
Of what he posted.
Let us read it.
So he goes and says, won a medal in East Africa at Parliamentary Games. The utter, this one is B-U-N-K-U-M.
You may not have the guts to read. Won a medal in East Africa at Parliament. This is Zaake's tweet. Won a medal in East Africa at Parliament Yugi Games. The utter bankum emanating from her dishonest lips was only intended to mock and break me down. This is idiocy. Parliament deserves better. A person of her caliber. Okay? Now, what is abusive there? It was only hard English. So probably she needs to go to the literature class. There was nothing abusive.
No, Mr. Mfambe, this happens to be the second time when Mr. Honorable Zaake, I mean, is being pushed to the Committee on Rules. What's with Honorable Zaake?
Honorable Zaake is one of the most formidable fighters who refuse to be compromised by the dictatorship. And you know, the dictator, if you do not side with him, he will blackmail you, he will dehumanize you, he will indignify you, they will call you names, they will take you to they will bring in different courts of cases that never existed before you came to the light of fighting them. So Zaake is in a conundrum of being loyal to Uganda.
But also...
And that is why he has been beaten, and they have also been beating him because he's Muganda. Probably Anita is also castigating him because he's Muganda. The people who brought the motion to remove Honorable Zaake were well chosen. Mapenduzi comes from Gulu and another. So I don't want to take it tribal, but it is wrong for Anita to think that they are going to remain tribalistic against our people and we don't fight back. Absolutely, that is not who we are.
Anyway, just running off away from that, of course there is an earlier notice of motion that is intended to have signatures from the opposition to censure the security minister. Now, of course, something like 178 are needed to have him censured. But as we speak now, it's only 52. Where does this leave? Yet, on the interim, they rushed into signing to have the Honorable Zaake be removed from his role as a commissioner.
One, every cause we go for is a noble cause. And by the mere fact that we sit, plan it and execute it, for us, that is a plus. The front of Parliament was acceptable to us as members of the National Unity Platform and the foundation of the people power, because we knew it would play a central political role in the affairs of liberating this country. And oh yes, they have done that well. Maybe there are issues where we need to improve.
Exactly. Because you're too slow to append signatures and these guys are too fast.
No, the motion
your opponents.
You see, these guys are fast because they are idiots. The law says, at 1072 says that in terms of such a motion, the notice shall be of a fortnight, 14 days. Not only shall it be a fortnight, it will be written. Okay? Now, those who don't even understand the basics, that is why I say that you have the person at the helm of Parliament at the highest level of naivety, and you know she is the one supposed to give you what you're supposed to follow as in terms of procedure. What happened to Uganda? Where the Wakapabulos, where the Akaboys, where the Kadagas, where there has been a group at least where the secondies. I have lots and lots and lots of problems with the Honorable Secondie. I have lots and lots of problems with the Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga. But then we were never pedestrian like we are.
Exactly, Mr. Mfobiro. People are wondering. You need 178 signatures. Your people are slow to respond to that. You only have 52, and you have something like 6 days to go.
We are sure that those who understand that indignifying a human being and causing intentional pain to a human being is being callous to the creation of God, they will do what is needful. That is why I said, for us, on that parliamentary front, once they have gone that trend, we have given them all the support, and we are sure that all the members of the National Unity Platform, all the 57, will sign. That we are sure.
Don't you?
However, we are also certain that we need to mobilize other members. But you know, this is not something you need even to mobilize.
Exactly.
This is
So
something
don't
in
you
the
think-
glass. So I have heard many members of Parliament that are willing to sign. We shall follow closely, but also, of course, given the corruption and the bribery of the people involved, you will know
Are you talking about the opposition? Or?
No. I mean the people we are running after. I know that they would want to use a lot of antics
yeah.
to bastardize the process and even bribe those who look like they are from the opposition to act otherwise. For example, Mapenduzi, for example,
some are actually refusing to sign because they don't want to show where they belong.
no, General Museveni and the NRA, they have mastered the art of procuring human beings.
But if you are able to be procured, that means you're weak as well.
And that I cannot deny that. And in life, they are weak people. Don't you know that? People are weak.
Man.
So those who are weak and acceptable to being procured against Ugandans, our motto in people power is tulibalabiranga ku bikolwa byabwe. We shall judge them by their actions, not by their words. So we believe. I was speaking yesterday to the leader of opposition, the leader of our government option, the Honorable Matthias Impuga. We are moving to that direction. It was the right direction we took to censure General JBMuwonge. He has a history of being a member of the NRA, and he has a history of torture. So, and his actions, even after these acts have been done. Because you see, the charge against the General JBMuwonge is presiding over anarchy silently. We want him to either come and tell us it is now an official position, like General Museveni said, that we are going to torture Ugandans. When you see
that's a big allegation.
No, General Museveni, when he was addressing and passing police officers, he said that is why Museveni is the custodian of torture. General Museveni is the custodian of torture.
But he disclaimed that. I mean, recently, last year, when he said that it's not in
year,
their
General,
DNA to torture. And
when General Museveni last year was passing police officers in Muwonge at Kabali, he noted and said that he had sanctioned and he was acceptable to the beating, the style of beating that had been orchestrated on the president, then the Honorable Robert Chagulanyi. Those are verbatim quotes.
You talk about when he said that he was beaten well when he assessed?
Yes. Now, for a person occupying the highest office that describes itself with occupants of the fountain of honor, to wake up in the morning and just thump a beating of a member of parliament. In that beating, you remember the one that said it was very okay. You remember people, their hands were cut. Cutting of people's hands. So you cannot, General Museveni is not devoid of the anarchy and the character of the army that he has built on the way it is treating Ugandans specifically. And for us to say this, do not say because they cannot come for us. No, we say it because we want to be the last martyrs that will see such a group of bandits treat Ugandans the way they are treating them, even if it is going to cost our lives. That is why we say this. Because you cannot torture a human being. Torture is an archaic methodology of retrieving evidence.
What are you going to do about that?
Well, the biggest...
Because we know that you are now 2 weeks away from Parliament.
The biggest prize we shall ever give to Uganda, my brother, is defeating General Museveni. The day, let me tell you, the day Museveni will be defeated, you will see things you have never seen. People will walk naked.
Okay, you're talking about defeating General Museveni, man who's been here for 36 years, but you still have some...